This is the Osu Live News at 12 with your host, Dan Bubbleman. The Osu World Cup group stages are back in what critics are calling the most genius format change in years. 32 teams have been duking it out to decide who makes it to the bracket stage to face the Big Eight, who's seeded directly in from qualifiers. With standout performers across the board and a map pool that has had consistent engagement through every match. Our map pool correspondents Chiv and FC Easy have the details on how it's all been panning out.
Hey everyone, hope you guys are excited for yet another groups match. We've got a beautiful match up ahead for you guys with a beautiful pool. Gonna be something you guys are a little familiar with now as we head into the second week. We're gonna be seeing, especially this match, I think a large presence of mechanics on the Austria side and a little bit of gimmick for the Chinese team. FC, how do you feel?
I'm always being kind of afraid of casting matches, but it's Chinese versus my homies. Austria. In groups. They told me I have a chance, so yeah, I'll give it a try.
Sure. And Bubbleman, how are you feeling about this match in particular?
I'm sure we'll have a bit of fun with this one. I mean, the Austrians are coming in off a LAN event that they were at last weekend. So pretty much everything in this group has been left to this weekend. It was just the China-Thailand match that was played last weekend. We get to see how these guys are feeling, how everything, shakes out during one weekend of play instead of having to maintain performance over two. So I'm excited, honestly. I hear they've already had one match today, the Austrians.
They did. It didn't go as planned, but we'll see how they do in this match. Unfortunately, a player by the name of Yolkspie might have done some incredible things with a very ridiculous average in that match.
Okay.
Still kicking in 2025, but I still think Austria showed the possibility for a lot of great team scores. It just wasn't enough to really edge out the points they needed against that team. So we will see what they come up with.
Well, here we go. Our map pool in question. And yeah, I pass it to you guys because you know the most about this pool. You made it. How do you feel about how these teams have been engaging with it? I think the least engaged with map in this pool has 7, I say, engagements as of last week. So, nothing is being left out in the dirt.
I think surprisingly, I'm pretty sure the least engaged map is actually No Mod 1, or it's something like that. So it's actually the raw aim pick of the pool. But I feel like both these teams have very strong points on this pool. I think some maps to watch in consideration for some of these teams. For Austria, is going to be the Volpan No Mod 2. It's going to be the DT2 Elder Fang. It's going to be Desire Shooting. These classic tapping and generic aim maps are really going to be beneficial towards this Austria team. And actually, is that a Chocolate Disco pick?
Oh, we're going straight in with it. The Austrians taking this, actually.
Oh, really?
I'm a little surprised. I actually have no idea what's in store here. I feel like China on paper has a very strong roster for this. You have players like David, have players like Christo, super well renowned just to be able to play any type of gimmick. And although Austria does have very, renowned gimmick players, specifically in Teppy Fangirl, we will see if that's enough to really counteract this huge Chinese team on this map.
So this featured in most matches last weekend. It was banned 7 times, picked 11. I'm sure it's been at least featured a few times since. But here we go, it's the first pick of the match. China versus Austria, seed 9 versus seed 17. Place 1 versus place 3 in what I think everyone's been calling the group of death. It's the highest seed team that could have ever seeded into these groups.
Absolutely. And everyone's already familiar with this map. It's going to be Chocolate Disco, the low AR gimmick map of the pool. Going to be seeing how players do. This has actually caused a lot of casualties, especially with the nerves. You're going to see a lot of misses already from Lolo235.
Early doors. It's essentially a map to get your eye in. Just loaded into the lobby. I mean, Austria played a match already, so match nerves may be high, but they've had to deal with it once already today.
Yeah. I think one thing to know about this map is that although, it is a 4-star map, you can really tell who's comfortable on this. Teppy Fangirl with the 99.7 coming into the first KI here. And players like Lolo235 and Crystal also sharing pretty high accuracies across the board. We'll see how players do in this first Ki, where, you know, the bleeding kind of kicks up.
The overlaps come in. This is the big part of the map, the Tomodoy being the first casualty in the chorus. For Austria, they've built up a fairly sizable lead, though, and Goose following suit. It's 2 misses now in the chorus compared to the 2 that were in the intro for China. They're holding recovery combos. The LOL234 does slip.
Yeah,
They
and
carry one through the outro.
for sure, gonna be 2 FCs to 2.5 in LOL235 with David, pretty much at that mark. But beautiful accuracy on Tepi Fango, 99.8. It is so comfortable for them. But the score is going to start going the other way no matter what due to the combo lead.
And this map is all about the execution, so as long as China keep their nerve, like you say, it's only 4 stars. This means the mechanics isn't anything really to worry about. It's all the execution, it's all the reading, keeping your focus, keeping the flow state, making sure you don't second guess yourself. And these guys now looking locked in. Fedora Goose, though, does drop a second miss. Recovery is there from LOL234. Almost matching Tomodoy. They did nearly miss in the same place, and it's the difference. David, LOL235, carrying a 900 now into the final chorus. More overlaps here. They take the lead back. This is only the first point of the match, but it's a real crucial one if they can take a break point on this. Hold their nerve all the way to the end. The more the combos build, the more focus you try and put into the map, and that's where the danger strikes. As 2 misses come through, Tepi follows suit. However, Tomodoy, the supporting combo, is dropped also. It is 1 big combo on either side. Crystal, the pillar of this China team. Tepi Fangirl on the other side. Austrian Reading Demon. Cannot quite fend off the recovery from LOL234 as Tomodoy misses again. Starts to seal their fate as that pie graph closes up and we see a breakpoint on the first map.
Wow. Honestly, I'm so surprised they picked this. I feel like this was kind of... I can see the vision for it. You know, you taking the kind of gamble pick out of the way to get the nerves. And they did have a very good team score, but China just looking very good on this with an FC from Crystal. And a great follow-up score from Milk Tea and David.
No,
FC Easy, how did you feel about that pick? What's up?
I was going to say, I like the gamble they took because it's the first map
Right.
for China, but it's the, say, like 6th or 7th. I didn't actually watch the first match, but, you know, 6th or 7th for Austria. And it's the gamble at that point where you've got no match nerves, and you could probably usurp someone with match nerves, a team with match nerves in China. So, yeah, a good pick, I think. But yeah, what do you think, FCZ?
Yeah, I think I agree with what Chief just said. Like the first pick for as a gamble pick, and it actually kind of works out. Like the the strongest player in China, like David Q for the skill set, actually have actually more misses, like than the average team his teammate. So it does make sense. Oh, China just picked this song.
You want to talk about this map, FCZ?
Oh, this might be actually my agenda. Like, I really like the song. Like, we almost did a bit of twist for the pool structure for the Chinese song. Yeah, it's cup, glass. Flash also really did a really good job. Like, the song is very chill. The maps plays like those snap aim, snap out, and all the structure he made is really beautiful.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the alt picks of the pool. Going to be probably, honestly, the most generic alt pick of the match. Just on that DT mod. But, you know, a little bit of a Chinese buff with the Chinese song coming in. I feel like China has a really strong roster on paper for this. I feel like China as a team flourishes at this lower SR where they just have 4 players that can perma lobby the entire match. You have Milk Tea, you have Lolo233, you have Lolo235. And you also have Crystal, and you kind of swap around that last spot with whoever you want. You could put in Kurumi for the non-mechanics maps. You can put Z numbers. There's a great amount of people you can put in, but you know it's just so consistent, and I feel like it's just so hard to pick into that team. Austria's gonna really have to dig deep to really find some magic in this match.
They have done it before. I know this Austrian team. They can pull rabbits out of hats whenever they want to. Their no mod 2 score in qualifiers being a big example of that. Definitely contributing to their seeding.
And this is the Austria roster you expect on like the majority of the maps, right? We see Z9A and Z10A both coming in. Alongside Fedora Goose, who probably will be playing the entire match. And Akuma no Tenchi, a very good filler mechanics player for this roster.
So I find it funny you talk about the Chinese song buff, because usually it's the Japanese lyrics nerf for Team Japan, when they can understand all of the
Right.
questionable language being used.
Oh, it's true. I feel like in this case, like it's fair. Like there's been some very controversial Japanese songs pulled previously, but when you have just, you know, one Chinese song, or in Normal One's case, one Turkish song in the pool, it can feel like it's a little bit of like a homage to your country. Like I better win this one. So
Yeah.
we'll see how they do.
Gives you that little bit of extra motivation, but maybe puts that little bit of pressure on you too.
Yeah, and you know, Matt gets straight into it. We're about to approach the first KI already. Just 100 combo in.
It's a very bouncy song, this one, so very well suited to this tech style, the aim control requirement. Ludo Fox missing on it. The first peak. Going into a slow section, get that cursor back under control. As we see a similar story really from last time, except it's one fewer miss. 3 FCs to 4 into and through the intro. Deceptively short this one on DT. 3 minutes long without it, so that goes down to 2 minutes. Rhythm game size can be over in a flash. Z10A drops now to mirror that miss from Fox, but give that slight advantage back over.
Yeah. Just finishing up the second KI here now. Nobody finding any major breaks after Z10A. And here comes the solo section, which gets quite hard.
Watch
Yeah,
the finger
this
control on
section's
some of
gonna-
these triples.
Being control more continuous 1/4 nails. And control also.
Oh, it is a double miss for China! Sorry, I have to stop you there, because Lolo233 and Fox
That's
both
huge.
dropped on the ending of that section. Mirrored, treated by Z10A, but it's 2-1. It's now the 3 FCs for Team Austria, and remember what I was talking about, rabbits out of hats. They're doing just that, as they're taking the lead, ripping it away from China on their first map pick. A double break point it's looking like into this outro, as long as they can hold these 3 FCs through some of the toughest wiggles patterns in the map. Tiny trip up for David at the end, but it's not going to matter. It's 3.9 million points for Team Austria as they take a break point back from China. 1-1. Wow!
We might
Yeah.
lost the song for our country.
There's a very impressive team score. Triple
Yeah.
FC. That's awesome to see. I think, like, as I said before, I favor China on these, you know, less mechanic heavy picks. I feel like Alt is kind of in that threshold where, well, I know what Bubbleman thinks about Alt as a skill set. It's kind of in that threshold where you could consider it to be on the control or mechanic side, depending on who you ask. But great team score from Austria, and that actually opens up some windows, I think, for this match. You know, being able to win an alt pick just like that. I'm curious to see what else they pick. I feel like they can lean into something like the DTs. Could try a hard rock as well, honestly. There's just so much more now available after that beautiful next point.
And that was a huge step up. I do have the MP link open from their match against Norway 2 hours ago. 700k improvement on that one. And they go into Letter to the Black World, no mod 5. They did well on this as well in that last match. But what do we think about this one against China, guys?
It's tough. I don't know if I'm like a full believer, but I really feel like some of these Chinese players are incredible at precision specifically. I feel like Despite Kirby maybe not playing at his peak compared to a few years ago, he still got on precision. Christo, notably probably one of the best precision players in the entire tournament. And David and Milky can easily hold their own. So they've got a crazy lineup. But it's, you know, Austria can also play this type of stuff as well. I feel like this map kind of also sits on that line between being a mechanics and a control pick due to the high CS, but also just being, you know, an aim map on CS7. So we'll see how it goes. Another like toss-up pick, I think.
So this is one of the few maps I think that have been pulled in WC with a stat change. What spurred that decision to put this in with different map stats? Higher approach rate, I think slightly lower CS.
Great question. I feel like our decision making here was that the original map was actually too hard with the lower AR, and the previous dip was way too easy. So we really wanted to use this map and kind of broke the camel's back in the sense that we were just like, why not message him for an edit, see what happens. And tournaments actually at this point are actually doing so many edits. You can see them in 4WC, 3WC, any tournament where people are prioritizing player enjoyment and map pool balance over preserving the original identity of the map. I think it is kind of like a difficult line to cross, but we made the decision thinking that it was going to be for the players and for the viewers, and I think we're happy with what came out.
It's an interesting one, really, because if you slap CS3 on this, obviously, the identity definitely goes away, right? But a slight approach rate change, slight CS change, doesn't take away from the map too much. So, yeah, they're
for sure.
maintaining the identity while making it usable in a map pool. It's a good way of thinking.
Absolutely.
Straight into it.
A very classic Chinese roster OWC is super familiar with. 3 Lololos and Crystal on my screen. We will see how they do on this map. And Austria going to be running back Tepi and Tomodoi.
Start for everyone. You see these longer sliders, the pause sliders. It's all about, again, kind of like No Mod 3. Keeping your eye in, keeping your cursor control. Execution. But on much smaller circles, there's higher stakes here, especially with it being rhythm game size again, and Crystal drops. Not a player I would have expected to be seeing missing on small circle size, but it's usually Hard Rock that this small CS is on. It's the slight change in circumstance. Trips up the most tenured player. And look at Austria, guys. They're still holding 4 FCs halfway through. They have come to play. That 5-0? They got angry. They got mad.
Absolutely. One break from Tepi just before the solo section where this map does get a little bit of a stylistic change. We'll see if that trips up anybody with the sudden straight sliders. And there goes
watch these
Milky.
sliders. They could claim combos, and they do. Milty and Kurumi both go down. And it's still a 3-way for Team Austria as David tries his best to fight it off, but falters, cannot keep up under the pressure. No combos now for Team China, as Austria are absolutely running away with it. Tomodo and Fedorigus might miss, but it's 700k across the board. Tepi bringing up the rear with a stellar performance still. But it speaks to the strength across this roster. Nobody managing to close out an FC. I wasn't talking about it. I didn't mention it. That one wasn't me. No, it was Pancho. He did it. He banked the FC.
Yes.
And C10A holds his head high. Avoids every curse under the sun and banks an FC on No Mod 5. But it's the team performance, it's the team pick, brings it across the line, and straight away No Mod 4 picked by China. They are not happy about losing those 2 points. They want more back.
Okay, well, that was a shocker. No Mod 4 going to be coming up. This is going to be the Slide Attack pick of the pool. Heliosphere, mapped by Wispy. This is going to be a custom song for the previous... was it a Catch World Cup song? Can I get a check FCZ?
Mania World Cup.
Mania World Cup was one of them. Sorry. But it's going to be little bit of a deceptively difficult map. You know, star rating 5 stars seems easy on paper, but judging from the scores we've seen, this map has taken a lot of lives. So we will see how players do. Oh yeah, and yeah. Well, hey, well, I said it was Catch World Cup, and then I got corrected. There was Mania World Cup, so like, it's not even my fault. Oh.
Oh.
Mango's not going to be very happy, FCZ. He might have some words to say to you after.
I might not be the best successor for him.
Is that public knowledge? Can you even say that?
I don't know.
Okay.
It should be fine. It should be fine. Trust me. Trust me.
So no mod 4, slider heavy. It's a lower star rating, but that should not fool you. The lower approach rate, 9.4, means this is a great test again of the cursor control, the awareness, basically how locked in you are.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see how both teams do on this. I have no idea who wins this.
I think the no mod pool is like the lowest average star rating, even lower than the hiddens, right?
Yeah.
Nearly. Anyway, nearly. I see a 7.2 in there for no mod 2, but like, this is weirdly low star rating. You see no mod maps through every round of 32, every group stage of the past, and this drops down to arguably back maybe in 2020 even. But
yeah,
it's not descriptive of the actual difficulty at all.
Absolutely. I feel like there's two factors here. A is that OWC 2025 definitely is trying a bunch of new skill sets that previously had maybe little or no representation in pools, and we want to be more exploring from the get-go. I feel like there's a chance for these types of maps to see some pick rate in like semifinals to finals in previous years, but we brought it straight for groups. And nobody has any idea what's happening with the star rating recently, so...
Yeah, true. Actually true. I back that one.
Yeah, but straight into it. We're gonna see Crystal break... Wow, couple breaks actually. Looking a little shaky at the start of this map. Map is not too much combo, so every miss counts.
Again, 2 minutes 36, not quite rhythm game size, but still relatively short. Considering a lot of these maps, sometimes 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes. We get into a fist fight immediately on this one. It's a definite advantage to China through the accuracy. Combo's still there for Austria, the most important part. Early miss for Crystal, 100 combo down, and Mulet 111, his first appearance in this match. Traded though by Akamono Tenshi.
Yeah, 2 breaks on Austria here. In the downtime section of the Ki, it's going to be straight towards the break, but it's going to be, I believe, 2 FCs, 2
98s.
2. Yeah, and I think Crystal has a great recovery combo still, so it's going to be definitely favoring China into this second part of the map.
And as we enter the second part of the map with 100,000 points of lead to China, it's 2 FCs either side of the line. With the 500 combo recovery from Crystal, and this is the part, though, where combos fall. These long sliders catch the head, catch the ticks. Make sure your cursor is where you think it is. And they're in a deadlock right now. Something has to happen for the status quo to change, or else China are just going to take this.
Right. Just one more Ki section left here, which is quite hard. There's some cut streams that are going to be coming up that could catch off all the players, but it is already a 300k score lead, and it's just growing due to both the combo and the act advantage on Team China. And here we go, final Ki.
Yeah, I mean, look at that accuracy. 98 across the board is insane. This sort of slider tech is really difficult on accuracy. And here they are. This was a brilliant map pick. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, this is some incredible performance from both of these guys. But a pick when they needed it. A clutch pick when they needed it. 2 break points. Back to back as the first 2 points in the round. Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Hello?
Is this thing on?
Just pretend I'm tapping the glass right now. Hello?
Oh my god. FCZ.
What's up?
Tap the glass, bro. Tap the glass next.
Tap the glass. Do not.
Oh no, break
Bully.
glass in case of hidden 2.
Not right now. Not right now.
More like break stream in case of hidden 2. Am I right, guys?
For sure. Anyways, yeah, we were just talking about it. I don't know if any of us could have predicted that Austria is going to send Hidden 2. I think the Nomad 5 and Nomad 3, we saw them have, but at least Nomad 5 in the previous match, have a great team score. But Token of Love going to be coming out on the side of Team Austria.
Yeah, definitely an unexpected pick. But one that they've been playing well on this entire skill set, this entire match. It was a close game on Nomad 3, the Nomad reading map, the Nomad execution. This 5.9 stars. So harder, higher approach rate, more generic even, fewer overlaps. We saw what Teppy Fangirl did on that Nomad 3. I mean, not going to replicate it. Already dropped like 4 100s. But we look the other way.
Just a quick adjust as you head to the start of this map, and oh my god, okay. 2 Tomodoy and Fedora Goose both going to find misses on Team Austria, so it's going to be 4-2. Just at the beginning, that's an easy score lead that China is going to be very happy to take.
Okay, definitely the hardest part of any Hidden 2 map is the intro.
Absolutely.
The notes are suddenly disappearing.
Could you imagine, like, yeah, going from AR 10.3 to the Hidden 2 right after? Like, just insane. It's a whole different game.
Yeah, it's part of being good at solo tournaments. And I mean, Goose,
Absolutely.
generally very good at solo tournaments, finding some issues here. Error after error mirrored though, traded out, Z numbers, and now Milk Tea, Lolo233, and David! Teppy Fangirl though, trading. No FCs, they're all gone. All down to Teppy and Crystal, who misses Teppy. Crystal now, the only one on the board with an FC. The only one on the board maybe not mind locked on this map.
He's never seen. Oh, and he just missed the jump.
There we go.
But that's a 150k score lead with just a 300 combo on Tomodoy. That's pretty much being matched by Z numbers here. Going to be having a little bit of trouble in this final half of the map. 170k to go.
Wow, they are not doing very well at all on this.
They're not going to be happy about these scores.
But you gotta say, it's a consistent score across the lobby, so they can't feel too bad. Everyone is scoring low on this. Everyone's low rolling, but it is China, the higher of the low rollers. 2 backup combos. One of them dropped. Z numbers down. It's all on Tomodoy now to try and reel it in, but a triple miss on Austria seals the fate.
Yeah, and bit of a gamble pick, but it's not going to pay off this time for Team Austria. China is going to be taking their second breakpoint of the match with a great 630k from Cristo. I think just that one miss on that 2-star jump. And yeah, 99.1 for Mr. David Q2. That is great ack. And 3-2 China.
So we saw the, I would say, overperformance on DT3 from Austria, plus 700k on that. Now the Hidden 2. Either of those 2 scores from that Austria-Norway game, they didn't play it in Norway-Thailand. Either of those 2 would have beaten that. So you can see the reason they picked it, right? If they were expecting a similar performance to last time, Austria would have taken that pretty handily. Unfortunately, it was not to be. Give away another break point. But what comes next from Team China, guys? What are we thinking, FC Easy? What's the next map pick?
probably gonna be some hard rocks, I would say. Like you can see Chinese team always have a good like hard rocks roster for like you have Crystal as the leader of the team, you have Nifty, you have like Z numbers for all those like any skill set like except for ult and complex reading. That's all that guy does. Okay, it's DT2. We're not expecting
DT2.
I have no idea what's going on in this pick structure anymore. Like I've completely lost all sense of judgment.
I was taking my little class like from Chip. I was asking about like, oh, what these guys like skill set, what would they pick? They're actually doing the opposite. Right?
Yeah, I'm literally surprised trying to pick speed, but we'll see how this turns out. I mean, they do have great mechanics players. Milk Tea easily going to be crushing this one, and I wouldn't be surprised if David is going to be in here as well. Honestly, I have no idea if Crystal can play this, but we'll see. On the flip side, Austria, Z10A, Z9A, two easy lock-ins for their side. Akuma no Tenshi probably as well going to be making an appearance. And we'll see who comes in for the fourth.
Well, they did get 3.6 mil on this last week against Thailand, did China. So it is, on paper, a fair pick. Crystal was not in for that. Seeming to be in replacement for David right now, but I'm sure that will change. As for Austria, though, it was looking okay on the No Mod 2. A similar-ish map in style to this. $600k across the board for them. Consistency is there. It's whether they can step up again, as we saw in the other DT. Way different in style, though, this one.
Alright. We'll be seeing Crystal actually substitute himself out for what looks to be Ladue Fox, and Z Numbers will be making an appearance as well. And Austria probably waiting for Mr. Z9A. There he is. Honestly, I'm curious to see how both teams do. I feel like both rosters are so strong on this type of map. It's going to be coming down to, you know, which team just has the unlucky 1 or 2 breaks.
As it tends to do. I mean, you can do any amount of prep that you want for any match you want. You can play the pool 10 times, but it's all down to how you feel in the moment. On the day, in the hour, as you load into the map. All you can do is maximize your odds, and China going for that. DT2 looking good. 0 FCs on Austria on the No Mod 2. They had 3.6 mil on No Mod 2 last weekend. So on paper, a safe pick. For Austria, DT3 was terrifying. If they can do something like that again.
Yeah, straight into it. All 8 players looking quite comfortable. Little low on the X side for some, but I mean, this map is actually quite hard for the SR, and Z Numbers going to find the first break despite having 98. But that will be the first Ki. Z9A is also going to be finding 1 miss on the outro there. So 3 FCs, 2, 3. Oh, there goes Akuma Tenshi as well.
Akuma's now down. 3-2 into second verse. David finding a little slip up. It's going to be vital that these FCs are held for as long as possible. Z Numbers with the advantage against Z9A. The support is there on the China side. That red bar is growing, but it's an FC traded out for a low combo. Z10 drops, but so does Ladue Fox. Oh no, he was on an FC. My bad.
No problem. Milk Tea
okay,
versus
it's a trade.
Fedorgas.
It's a trade.
It's a trade. And here comes the solo
drops
section.
Again, though. Leaves a little bit of advantage on the table. Big streams coming in. Goose and Milk Tea comboing through them. And they have to hold. They have to stay the course. 1000 combo now on Z Numbers. Ladue Fox missing again. So evens it out ever so slightly. but they're deadlocked right now. A slow growth of the lead. That red bar moving over to the left as Z10A misses again. Cannot quite hold his own on a map this fast.
That's going to be
And
it,
it
I
will
think.
be the support, the team performance. 4 points to 2 now for China. They don't give a break point back. They convert it finally, and now are in match point with a guaranteed pick for Austria, who then need to break the Chinese point to go to tiebreaker.
Sure, just some unfortunate breaks here coming in from Austria. Z9A and Akuma potentially going to find just, I believe, that one break for either of them. Actually, Z9A broke twice in that first KI, and Fedora Goose is actually going to knock out the FC at 95, but it is not going to be enough. Milk Tea 98.3, quite the good act for a map. That difficult for group stage, and it's back to Austria's pick. Are these anonymized names? Why are there 2 Lolos and 2 ZAs?
They're
I
brothers,
got
okay?
some great news for you.
They're brothers. They're siblings. They're playing right next to each other in real life. Actually, that'd be really distracting, wouldn't it? Playing on the same desk as someone you're in a team with.
That sounds terrible. Oh my god. The desk is shaking because one guy started spinning earlier.
Yeah, spare a thought for the UK team qualifying last year, huh?
You guys played at the LAN?
We did. We played. There was 5 players at LAN.
That's
We
incredible.
nearly. Well, I mean, we would have had to be playing group stages at LAN if we didn't over qualify.
Right.
The Austrians were at LAN last week. They had a LAN tournament at Unicorn.
Alright. FCZ, what's the pick, man?
For Austria, I have no idea. They're probably gonna pick another. I would say let's say they're gonna pick Haruka.
Nearly. Close one.
Nearly, yeah.
Free mod 1, so there will be hard rock on this. But they've just been gambling all the way. They picked reading, and now more reading. AR 9.2 on this does make it incredibly dense, considering what the mapping style is. 168 BPM. What do we think about this, though? What's your thoughts, Chiv?
Let's just hope. Let's hope they win this map, because this map is quite the gamble. I feel like out of every pick in this pool, this map is probably the spikiest. It relies on 2 major sections with a good amount of break in between them. It's going to be some circle tech at 168 BPM. I'm excited to see how some of these players do. I think stand-up people to watch is going to be David Q2 is going to be super strong on this type of stuff. Any mod he wants to take, he can probably pull out a good score. But I do think it's going to be something like, I could see a Crystal Hard Rock and a David Q2 hidden. On the flip side of Austria, not too confident in my prediction, but I feel like Fedora Goose is probably going to be taking the hidden and a Hard Rock on one of the Z10 or Z9As.
I think really we're just shocked at the way these picks have been panning out. There's been 0 mechanics. No mod 1, no hard rock 1, no mod 2. The DT2 is the closest we get to it.
Yeah,
Move
I'm kind of
back
surprised.
into tech. Yeah, I would have put Austria down for being a mechanics team. Obviously not feeling it today. Not feeling it on this easier pool.
I think so too. I feel like the concern that these pools are just too easy for them on the mechanics, kind of making them steer away from some stuff. I mean, to be fair, one of the best scores in qualifiers was the No Mod 2, and that was immediately banned by China, so no surprise to see that. But even stuff like the No Mod 2 going to be going unpicked if this map goes to the favor of China.
Here we go, the song loops, so that means it's time to get into it. It's a minute 48. With a fairly long intro too. Like you said, it's 2 spikes. It relies on those 2 difficult sections. So would you say it is one of the more difficult maps to FC in the pool? due to that?
Yeah, I would say so. I feel like this map is like inherently pretty hard, just because of the nature. Also, just quite difficult in general. The AR 9.2 is been a voice of concern from some people. Just adding a little bit too much difficulty on the no modern hidden players due to the density. But we will see how they fare on this map, as we have a chill intro here. Nobody going to be finding any breaks, hopefully.
Here we go. You take this 180, 200 combo into the chorus. Hold as long as you can, guys. It's going to be a bloodbath. Everyone's syncing up well. The first casualty, Lolol233. Milk Tea is down on the Hard Rock. But everyone, the tension here. You don't want to be finding misses in a section like this. You're so close to the ending. The first spike is over with 2 dropped combos on China and nothing on Austria. They're holding a full 4-way FC into the slow section. Crystal and David, though, breathing down their necks, saying, you gotta hold through at least a little bit of this next chorus.
Yeah, and Xenone with the Hard Rock FC going to be looking very impressive as he gets the entire lead into the second PI. No breaks for Austria, and the score is just going to keep growing. He finally finds a miss. There goes Tomodoy as well.
It's 2 FCs to 2. These 2 FCs, though, on Austria need to hold. 200k. Milty missing, but David down, and that puts the nail in the coffin of this map. Austria take it with a stellar performance.
Yeah, double Nomad FC.
Exactly when they needed it. And it mirrors, I think, the DT3 performance from them. Very similar skill sets. Add in that sprinkle of spice, the Hard Rock and the Hidden. And here we see it's 4-3.
Yeah, and that double FC on Nomad from Fedora Goose and Z10A just going to be easily enough to round out that pick. And a great 700k S rank from Z9A. Super impressive as we get into the final pick of the match. FCZ, what's China? Oh, Bubbleman, what's China picking up?
99.3 on Fedora Goose is crazy on this. So
Special
easy to
9.2.
drop accuracy, so easy to drop below 99 because of the length of the map. But yeah, go ahead. What's the last map? What do you think is going to be?
There it is. Hard Rock 2.
You were saying this, FCZ. You were saying this.
Yes, it's time for them to finally pick one of the Hard Rocks here.
Yeah, and I feel like this can go either way.
What was it that drew you to this map for China? Considering like all of the tech and all of the reading picks, picking back into tech.
That's
I think
actually...
go for it.
Go for it?
No, you go, bro.
No, you go.
What do you mean? I'm going? No, you go. No, you go.
I think it's pretty clear. Like, I think one of the things is like Crystal, though he's not actually performing as good as the first match. That David almost FC all the maps during the match. He probably got like 3 or 4 FCs in the game. But Crystal is also performing really consistent day. I think it's good to have like one guy to be the consistent player to code a big combo for team. And for sure, like the inter match today, they're not having that many FCs, even though it's for group stage. People are doing like lower score than their previous do. So I think that's what I'm thinking.
Right. I feel like originally a good prediction would have been, China has a lot of super strong precision players, like we said, and they should have on paper great ult and tech players. So, this kind of matches up with that, precision, heavy ult control, with a little bit of tapping as well. Should be very characteristic for some of these players, especially Milk Tea, David, Kurumi, and Crystal. All, at least at some point in their careers, could have played this with ease. But Austria's just looking so good at these ult and tech picks throughout this match. I wouldn't be surprised to see some magic happen once more and bring us to 4-4.
The difference maker here is going to be that CS 6.5. Because in every pick so far, it's been fairly sizable circles. Arguably the CS 7.4 on the Nomad 5, indicative of how they could play on this, but it's AR10. I'm looking forward to this. Good pick for China on paper, but good pick for Austria also, I think, on paper.
I think we're chilling here for a little bit longer. Not sure how much longer this timeout lasts. Just what, 2 players?
Just a couple of
one for
minutes.
each team. Yeah.
They'll be getting ready, playing some CS10 maybe, just
Yeah.
to get their eye in, get their cursor centered a little. Are you guys happy with how this pool has been engaged with? Because to my knowledge, it was the DT1 that was the least engaged. Maybe the Nomad one the least picked, but it was banned 6 times last week.
Right. Yeah, I'm not even sure, to be honest, but, you know, some teams are just finding their strengths in other maps, I guess. How do you feel about the tiebreaker, by the way, Bubbleman? What
I
team
love it.
do you think? Oh, you love it, okay. Any favorable teams on this, you think?
Nope, not at all. I have no idea. You would think the Nomad 2 from Austria in qualifiers indicates that they have the strength on this. They've got to get through Hard Rock 2 first, of course. They have used their timeout, so they can't spend that little bit of extra time to bring everything back up to CS4. High mechanics requirement. And I mean, both teams actually have been avoiding the mechanics. No jumps, no space streams. Free Mod 2 hasn't been touched. No Mod 1, no Mod 2 haven't been touched. DT1 hasn't been touched. Those are the 4 maps that are left in the pool. And they're all the mechanics maps, so we haven't seen anything from either team on this yet. Hard Rock 2 first though, Chiv.
Yeah, about to get straight into it. And these are the 8 players you have been expecting to see throughout this match on anything that isn't super gimmicky or super mechanics heavy. This core roster of China that is stuck through years and years of OWC, and this new core of Austria tournament players that have maybe one slightly older captain, but the rest are some new blood ready to feast on this Hard Rock 2. We will see
tell him
who
you said
comes out
that.
on top.
Slightly.
Just slightly. You think if Shanghai Romance is in the pool, they would win it?
Oh, hands down, no contest. Goose would score 4 million on his own on that. 2015 Goose would.
Yeah, not sure about now.
What do you mean? He only gets better with age.
Is that why his score goes from 1 million to 4 million? Just quick uncap on the score limit.
Slow lead in. You've got the cut streams. You've got the spaced streams on CS 6.5. We have 4 FCs through the intro. Tension building as no one's blinked yet. And all it takes is one blink. All it takes, slight miscue of that cursor. The combo is gone. Dead even. Deadlock right now. The edge to China from the accuracy, but it's not a lot. You can feel it in your stomach, but there it goes. The tension is broken as Z10-8 and Akuma no Tenshi both miss. Austria now completely on the back foot. 2 minutes 38 and they're already halfway through, so that combo breaking right there is dire as China now hold. Crystal dropping, but the Lolos have his back.
Yeah, that is just so sad. Just 2 unlucky breaks in that first KI, but that might be sealing the deal. The score is already 200k and it's just growing with the 3 FCs to 2.
Of course, you save your best pick for last. However, it could still change. It could still spin. Flip right back. It's only 284k. And, you know, divide that by 4. Any misses here, still crucial for either side. Neither team are out of it yet. Akuma no Tenshi drops the supporting combo they've been building, but it's not an FC. It is looking, though, like they saved their strongest pick for last. Milk Tea goes down. But still, 2 FCs to 2. Big supporting combo for Z10A. They have a slight advantage now. They're reeling in the lead. But as we move closer and closer to the end of the map, the longer these combos hold and the more misses come through. Fedora Goose combo is down. China looking in top form as they take a 5th point. Hard Rock 2 is theirs, as is the match. Chiv FC Easy. It was a close one. It was well contested by the Austrians. But China bring it home.
Yeah. Kurumi and David, great scores, double S rank, and shout out to Milk Tea's act. That was ridiculous. Like, I didn't even want to point it out. 99.5 on that is really hard, considering everyone has double-digit numbers on 100 count. But that is just insane and a great team score. That was a fantastic match. I was really happy with the outcome, and I think both teams are going to be very happy with how they played. Bar Coconut Love. Let's not talk about that one.
Yeah, let's look away from that one. Can we scrub that from the MP link? Can we like remove that one for history?
For sure. I think that does determine that China and Norway are going to be your top 2 seeds from this group, which is awesome to see. I think, is that the first or second group that's been decided?
I'm not too sure. I think it might be the second group that's been decided. I'm scrambling now, trying to find the group's sheet. Yep, here it is. It is the second group that has been decided. We've still got the result of France versus Spain to wait for to decide Group C. And of course, Taiwan and Malaysia are through from their group as well in the contenders section of the group stage. China, though, the winner. China, our seed 9. And China now having to face Norway to decide the top and the